Hello and welcome to Yogalates. So today you're going to need some kind of ball. I've got a tennis ball. It could be that, or it could be one of those spiky balls. So we're just going to start with a little bit of work on our feet. So if you need to, just pause the video so you can go and get yourself a ball. So we'll pop the ball down onto the floor. And for a moment, we're just going to take a focus to our posture and our breathing. So I want you to imagine that you've got a little bobble hat on top of your head and you're reaching the bobble of the hat up towards the ceiling. But I don't want you to do it with any tension in your body, so it's not a stiff military position. You want to grow tall but in a quite relaxed manner. And then here we'll just focus on our breathing for a moment. So popping your hands onto the front of your ribs here and the sides, middle fingers touching for me. Take a nice inhale breath. And then a gentle exhale. So as you inhale, what you're hoping to do is to feel your ribs pushing out into the palms of your hands. And then as you exhale, the ribs soften in and away from the palms of the hands. So let's go again, inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. So that's the breathing we want to try and maintain if we can when we're doing our Yogalates today. But remember, if the breathing is too much to think about, just keep breathing, don't hold your breath. Right, so we're going to start, as I said, with a little bit of work for our feet. So I will stand side on now so you can see what we're going to do. Okay, so we'll start with the right foot on the ball. Okay, if at all you feel imbalanced, make sure that you go to near a wall where you can pop your hand onto a wall if you need to. But if you're okay without holding on, then let's just stay on our mats here. Okay, so we'll just have the arms down by the side of the body, tall spine. Softness in our standing leg. So for the moment, that's the left leg, nice and soft and adaptable. Don't worry about any wobbling through the ankle, absolutely fine. Just building strength there. Just the connection between the mind and body that we're after. So you're starting with the sort of top of the center of your foot, should we say, onto the ball. And you're going to roll the ball forwards and then draw it back in towards you. And again, roll forwards. And draw it back in. By the way, if you can hear any creaking, it's my floor. It's not me. Okay, roll the ball forwards and draw it back in. And then you want to take the ball to a little bit more towards the inside edge of the foot and roll it forwards and back. Just massaging the underneath of the foot, releasing any tight muscles. Working into your fascia. Wonderful. And now you want to take it more to the outside edge of your foot. Rolling away and back in. So keep your tummy muscles drawn in. So you've got that support, tall posture, looking straight ahead. The ball should feel super light underneath the foot. And then come back to the center. Okay, let's swap sides. So I'll turn round, you can just push the ball over to the other side. And again, starting with the ball central underneath the foot. And again, off we go. Nice tall spine, no slouching, no leaning back, no hinging forwards. This time the right leg, don't lock it out, just keep it adaptable. So you're doing 3 of each. So now take it more to the inside edge. Ooh, a little bit wobbly there. And we roll forwards and lightly back in. So not pressing down into the ball at all, just lightly. And then we'll go to the outside edge. That's it. So obviously you can play around with this. Just remembering we need to give our feet and our toes as much love and attention as anywhere else. Well done. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down into our low lunge position. So if you step forwards with your, let's go left foot forwards, take your right leg back behind you, and then if you need to, hands on the front of the thighs to lower yourself down, or if you can, arms out to the side, tall upright spine, and bringing yourselves down. You can just pop the ball out of the way now, we don't need that anymore. And that's just a little something that again you can easily practice at home. So in our low lunge position now, we're actually going to do our side bends here today. So I'm going to twiddle round, face forward, so you can see the shape that we're going to be making. So with your left foot forwards, what we're going to do now is do our lovely side bends. So tall through your spine. Inhaling, lifting your right arm up and bringing it over. Reach, 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 reach. And then come all the way back up to the top. Good. And we'll go again. Inhale up and exhale over. So again, this will really test your balance. So keeping those tummy muscles switched on, squeezing the buttocks on that right side as we come up and over into our side bends. Wonderful. And then we'll swap sides. So if you can, no hands, you're going to sweep the left leg back behind you and bring the right one forwards. So I do realise at the moment I'm not doing the mirror image, so you'll be doing the opposite way to me. All right, so when you're ready, inhale, lifting up, exhale, over we go. Nice and square through the torso, not allowing that top shoulder to come forwards if we can help it, reaching up and over, taking our spine gently into some lateral flexion, and again reaching up and reaching over. Wonderful, and tall spine. Super work. Okay, from there, again, if you can, without using the hands, you're going to sweep that leg back behind you. Well done. And then bring yourself down into your seated position. Okay, so we're going to practice rollbacks, getting some work into our tummy muscles. So sitting up tall, let's take the hands behind the back of the legs here, just above those knees, shoulders relaxed and down. So when we do our C-curve roll back, we're obviously coming into this shape here. So anyone that has osteoporosis or any other conditions where you're told not to do spinal flexion loaded, then you're going to do it with a straight spine, which will be leaning back, and then the little tail tuck under, but keeping the chest lifted. So you've got this more elongated, lengthened spine. So I'm going to cue for the C-curve spine, but as I say, you have got the option to do your straight spine, not forgetting your little tail tuck under. So when you're ready, take an inhale breath here. As you exhale, draw in your tummy muscles, so these low, deep abdominals here, and think about engaging your pelvic floor. So back passage coming towards the front, and then tuck your tail under, and you're scooping here, so pulling the tummy in, pulling the ribs in as we roll back about halfway. Stopping there, again, you've got the hands for support at the moment, so use them. Inhaling, and as you exhale, think nipples towards your hips as you roll up, 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 and then coming up, sitting tall, 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 tall. And again, inhale, exhale, tail tucks under, scoop through the tummy, roll back, roll back, roll back. Lovely, and hold. Try not to let any tension build up into your shoulders. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Inhale here. Exhale again, nipple to hips. Roll up, roll up, roll up. When you're back onto your seat bones, then bring yourself to sit tall. Okay, can we take the hands away? Inhale. Exhale, tummy, pelvic floor, tail tucks under. Good, lovely, shoulders relaxed. Inhale. Exhale, roll up, roll up, roll up. Sitting up tall. So this time we're going to roll all the way back to the floor. So again, those with osteoporosis that can't do the roll backs, just use your hands and your arms to lower yourselves down. So inhaling here, exhaling, tail tucks under, scoop the tummy, tummy away from the front of your t-shirt as you slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourselves all the way down. Wonderful. I'm just going to shuffle a little bit like this way on my mat. Okay, so from there, you're going to walk your feet a little bit more in towards you, and you want your feet approximately hip width apart, so that we've got our hips, knees and ankles in alignment. And again, when you're lying in this position now, if you're more comfortable with a cushion or a rolled up towel or even a little block underneath your head, then do get one. Okay, so just give yourself a moment to settle onto the mat. And then you're lying in your natural neutral spine, which is slightly different for all of us, but it's where we would just naturally come and lie. So we're not forcing anything this way or that way. We're just settling into our neutral spine. And from there now, take an inhale breath. As you exhale, draw the tummy in, engage your pelvic floor. Bring your right leg up into tabletop. Now take the leg straight up towards the ceiling, or as straight as you can get it. If there's a bit of a bend, don't worry too much, but we're obviously ultimately aiming for the straight leg. And then from there now, you're going to draw that leg towards you. So you now will go down into your imprinted position. So the back of the waistband will go down towards the mat. And I want you to draw that leg in towards you. If you want to, you can pop your hands on the back of your thighs for a little bit of assistance. And then you're going to point and flex your foot. So pointing the foot away so we get to the stretch through the front of the ankle, the tops of the feet. And then we flex at the ankle, so then you get the stretch in the Achilles, your calf muscles, and hopefully your hamstrings as well. Okay, so pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing, and again. And then pointing and hold, and then you're going to do your ankle circles here. Okay, so you can let the leg go a little bit further away from you if you like. Go back to a more neutral spine, and you're drawing the biggest circle you can, following the big toe, if you see what I mean. So you use the big toe to draw an imaginary circle on the ceiling, and then change direction. You can see how my leg is staying still, okay? So I'm not doing this, okay? And I'm not just doing that. We're going through the full range of motion. Okay. So again, we tend to neglect our feet, we tend to neglect our ankles a little bit until something goes wrong. So we need to exercise them as much as anything else. And then bringing that foot down. And then let's swap sides. So bringing that leg up, so it's your left leg this time. And again, just bringing that leg closer towards you, go down into your imprint. Hands on the back of the thighs if you like, it's entirely up to you. And pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing. Feel that stretch. Wonderful. Stretch the front of the ankle, tops of the feet, contracting the soles of the feet, and then stretch the soles of the feet, the Achilles, the calves, the hamstrings. Wonderful. Just going between the two in your own time. And then again, release the leg away a little bit and off you go with your circles. Doesn't matter which way you start your circles. We're going to do both ways, but again, the leg is staying quiet and still. The work coming from the ankle joint. And change directions. Again, use the big toe, make the circle as big as you can. Big, 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 big. Wonderful. bringing that foot down. Well done. Okay, let's get a little bit more into our tummies now. So you're going to bring that right leg back up into tabletop. Okay. And then we're going to do our toe taps here. So you're going to look to maintain your neutral spine or go a little bit more towards imprint if you like. But what I don't want is your back to arch away like that, because that is painful. The tummy will dome up, the back will arch away, it will feel very uncomfortable. So we want neutral spine or slightly towards an imprinted spine. Okay, and then from there, you're just going to tap the toes down for 6 and bring the leg back up to tabletop, and 5. So really stand into the other foot. That's sort of your support. So feel that that's really sort of grounding down into the mat. And 2 and 1. Well done. Now take the leg straight, if you can, up towards the ceiling, as straight as you can get it. And then from there now we're going to lower and lift our long legs. So we're going to lower down and lift and lower. Don't let the tummy pop. Don't let the spine arch away from the mat. Use your low, deep abdominals to control the movement. Good. And 1 more. Up we come. Bend the leg, bring the foot down. Okay, and again, let's swap sides now. So no rocking and rolling through the pelvis, everything quiet and still. Bringing your left leg up into tabletop. Take the leg up towards the ceiling. Bend it back in, and off we go with our toe taps. And down. Good. And again. 3. Quiet and still through the pelvis. 4. And 5. And 6. Lovely. And let's go long leg. We lower. Tummies on. And lift. Exhale as you lower. Inhale when it's back at the top. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Lower. So how low you take the leg is up to you. Okay, as soon as you start to feel the tummy popping or the back arching away, you've gone too far. So just reduce your range. And then bring the foot back down. Wonderful. Fantastic work. Well done, everyone. Okay, so from there, what we're going to do is just bring ourselves into a position where we're lifting the head and chest up, and you've got the hands behind the back of the head. Now, again, if you osteoporosis, what you're going to do is you can lift the head off, but you just want to stay looking up towards the ceiling, okay, so that we haven't got this flexion here. But as long as you're okay to do it, we're going to come into our curled up position. Okay, so from there now, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your right leg up into tabletop, and then bring your left leg up into tabletop. Now you will now be imprinting your spine. So you'll be using the power of your tummy muscles to push the back of the waistband down. Wonderful. So then now you're going to take the hands away, and they're going to go long and reaching down the side of your thighs. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to just curl up a little higher and release back for 6 and 5. Small range movements. 4. This will get a little bit more into your upper abs. 3 and 2 and 1, and then come down and have a little rest. So I'll just demo, if you've got osteoporosis and you're doing the movement, you've got the hands behind your head here. What you're going to do is you're going to do a little lift and a lower and a lift and a lower. So you can see the spine isn't changing shape. We're just lifting and lowering and lifting and lowering. Well done. And then whichever you've done, have a nice knee hug in. And then you're going to bring those feet back down onto the mat. I'm going to shuffle this way a little bit. Okay, so what I want you to do now is walk the feet a little bit further away from you so that the legs are still bent, but they're not quite so close in towards your buttocks. And then there now, I want you to take your arms up towards the ceiling with the palms facing away. And then you're going to take the arms overhead. And I want you to just let those ribs lift up. Let them do what they want. Let them come up, 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 up. Just give them a good old stretch here at the front of the ribs. Okay, so we don't often allow the ribs to flare when we're doing our Yogalates, so let them just flare up for a moment. And breathe. Nice, deep inhale breath through the nose. And then an exhale through the mouth. Inhale, let them flare. Exhale. They should automatically soften in and down those ribs. Okay, so this time, can you inhale without the ribs flaring? Just one more, inhale. Exhale. Keep those ribs low. Well done. And then bringing those arms back over. Bring them all the way down to the floor. Well done. Okay, so from there, roll onto your side. And we're going to come into our side plank exercise. So you'll have your knees bent at about a 45-degree angle away from your hips. Feet are stacked, knees stacked, hips are stacked. On this side now, elbow is underneath your shoulder. Again, we're not collapsing down, nice and lifted through the side. So if you can now, you're going to bring this top hand. So for you guys, that's going to be your left hand, and you're going to wrap it now around your ribs here. So what we're going to do now is some little lift and lowers. So again, it's tough on the shoulders, right? So if it's too tough to lift and lower, maybe you could just lift up a little and hold, okay? But if you feel okay to do the lift and lowers, let's crack on with those. So when you're ready, tummy and ribs drawing in. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, lift the hips up and then lower them slowly down. And again, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And down. And again, lift. And down, and again, lift, and down. Well done. Okay, so from there, push yourself all the way up to seated. Swing those legs around and coming down onto the other side. So same setup, hips stacked, knees stacked, feet stacked. Okay. Lovely. Drawing the tummy and the ribs in, wrapping the right arm around. Lovely. And again, think tall spine for me, length through your spine. Active on the underside here. And when you're ready, inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And again, lift. And lower. Good. Power up. Use the underside here to lift you up. Squeeze your bottom glutes. So for you guys, the left one, as you lift and lower. And lift. Good. And one more. Lift. And lower. Ooh, well done. Getting into those obliques. So these internal and external obliques that wrap around the side of the body. Nice and strong. So from there, you're going to come to lie on your tummy now. So letting the legs go long and then bringing yourselves down onto your front. So into what we call our prone position here. So we're going to start with our Sphinx position or low swan. So this is where you're up on your elbows here. So ideally you'll have your elbows in line with your shoulders. If this feels too strong, you want to come a bit lower, just bring your elbows closer to the side of your ribs, and that will lower you down. So just work at a level that feels good for you, but if you can, you're going to have those elbows in line with those shoulders and holding here. And then quite simply what we're going to do now is fire up our buttocks, so pushing the pubic bone down into the mat, pushing down through the tops of the thighs. You might find that you then automatically get a little bit of leg float, don't worry if you don't. And then think belly button to spine for me. And then what we're going to do now is try and get a little bit more work in that area just underneath your shoulder blades. So the bra strap area for the ladies. The men, you can imagine, just underneath the shoulder blades there. And then all I want you to do now is, without the elbows moving, I want you to imagine you're trying to draw them back a little bit more towards you. Can you get a little bit more work into that area? So if I was in a room with you, I would be looking for more wrinkles across the back of your t-shirt in that area. And then just relax a little. And when you're ready, go again, drag the elbows back towards you. Feel that work across the base of those shoulder blades. And then relax a little. And then one more. Drag back. Drag, 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 drag. And relax a little. Okay, now what you're going to do, bring yourself down now so that your head is and chest hovering off the mat, but you're looking down towards the mat. Lift those arms up to the side of you here if you can. Keep squeezing the buttocks tight. Keep the belly button pulling up towards the spine. And then you're going to do alternate arm reaches forwards. So off you go. One arm reaches forwards and comes back. The opposite arm reaches forwards and comes back. And again, reach and back and reach and back. So you're aiming to keep the arms at shoulder height if you can. Try not to let them dip down. So it's not this. Okay, keep them nicely up at shoulder height. Keep going if you can. Keep squeezing your buttocks. Well done. We're nearly there. One more each side. Well done. Almost there. And then bringing those hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up into your cat stretch. Up, up, up. And that should feel delicious. We're taking the spine in the opposite direction. And then gently come down into your dip and hollow. Lifting the chest a little, sliding the shoulders down. And again, push up into your cat stretch. Try and tuck your tail under a little more if you can. And gently down into your dip and hollow. Nothing too forced. Slinky, smooth spines. And again, push up. And then come down into your dip and hollow. Wonderful. And then coming back to your neutral spine. So just walking those hands a little bit further forwards of your shoulders and setting them wider to the edge of your mat. Toes are tucked under, tummy's drawn in. And from there now, I want you to hover the knees and push yourself up into your pyramid. Up, 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 up. And then can you pedal out the feet? So lowering alternate heels down towards the mat. Stretching again into the back of those legs, just like we did in our lying position. Hopefully getting those heels closer now towards the floor. Wonderful. Heels of the hands pushing forwards and away. Release through the shoulders. Keep the tummy on. Keep sending those hips up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. And then bringing those knees down, 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 down. And coming around once again to our seated position. Okay. Well done, everyone. Lovely. So sitting with those legs just out in front of you, feet together, knees together, sitting up tall. Take your arms wide out to the side, fingers reaching away, palms facing down. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, rotate round to one side. Come back to the centre. Inhale. Exhale, go round to the other side. So keeping those arms wide and away from you. Good. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale, round you go. Back to the centre. One more each side. Round we go. Round, round, round. Rotate, rotate. Back to the centre. Around to the other side. And back to the centre. Well done. Bringing those hands down. Now extending your right leg long. Bending in the left leg so that the sole of the foot is against the inside of the thigh if you can. So you're now going to take your right arm and down the inside of that right leg, facing your chest towards the bent knee, lifting the arm up to the ceiling. Inhale, get the length first through the side of the body, and then as you exhale, you're going to come over, 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 and breathe into that delicious stretch. So looking straight ahead, I'll twiddle around a little bit. That's it, look straight ahead. Wonderful, reaching, reaching. Can you go any further? Use the breath to help you. Inhale, come out a little. Exhale, go further. Inhale, come out a little. Exhale, go further. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And then slowly, carefully, come all the way back up to the top. Well done. So you know what's coming now. Let's swap sides. So again, sit up as tall as you can. Remember, you can always have a block or a cushion underneath you if you need it. So extending that left leg away, the left arm coming long. So you're automatically coming into a bit of a lean, and then turning the chest to face towards that front knee. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, come over. Over we go, good. Lovely. And again, use the breath. So inhale, come out a little. Exhale, go further. Inhale and exhale. Good. One more. Inhale and exhale. Over you go. Reach, 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 reach. Well done. And come all the way back up to the top. Carefully. All right, bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. Legs crossed if you can. If it's too much, remember you can use your diamond legs, straight legs, or bent legs, whatever feels comfortable for you. Okay, so from there now you're going to roll those shoulders up, back and down. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, inhaling and exhaling. Well done. Bring those hands into prayer. Just nod your chin. Thank you very much for joining me at Yogalates.